Hello, friends. Welcome to Juani's Garden, November 21st, 2021. And as the garden prepares to go dormant, I thought I would show you a final tour of what is still here. So, of course, my forever faithful estafete, oregano, mint. These are survivors. They stay green for a long time. If you remember, I shared with you my papaya project. So I threw seeds wherever I could. And to my surprise, I did get about maybe 10 little plants. These are still quite young and barely developing. And at least they survived. So that's what I wanted to show you. They're alive, they're growing, they're going into the house over the winter, and in the spring they're coming back out. Some of these are bigger than others. As you can see, the stem is thicker on some of them, thinner on the others. But the point and the important things is that they're alive, and I'm super excited about that. So as I was telling you, I threw them all over the garden. Here's one that I placed in a bigger pot, and as you can see, the size of the pot does make a huge difference. Look at the size of the stem, the leaves, the length, everything so much bigger, and also has a lot more leaves on it. Everything that's potted is coming into the house. I've already reserved an area where I'll be placing them and be, taking care of them until next spring. As a child, we had a papaya tree. It was huge. As a young child, I would try to hug it, and my arms couldn't reach around it. And I remember looking up, and it was huge. It seemed like a giant. And it always puzzled me that it was so big and so beautiful, and it produced such a good fruit. I love papaya. I like papaya like by itself or in a salad. The combination of bananas and papaya together is really, really good. Very, very tasty. My Serrano Peppers have survived, even though, again, we're in winter. Look how green and shiny and vibrant. They're also very delicious. So every day when my husband wants a hot pepper, I run to the yard, cut a couple for breakfast, a couple for lunch, and we're good. Haven't had to buy any. And if you notice, these little white flowers, those are more peppers trying to produce. So this here, it was a huge surprise. If you remember, on this container I was growing cantaloupes, and those cantaloupes were actually growing out of a compost pile. That's what this pot was. So we enjoyed cantaloupes. They were juicy, they were tasty, beautiful. When I removed the plant, when it finally died out, I discovered this avocado. And again, because this pot was meant for composting, so all kinds of seeds went in there, and the only ones that survived were the cantaloupes, which we've already eaten, and this beautiful avocado. So this here, my longevity spinach, has done really, really well. This here is one plant alone, and look how much it has spread. And this is from buying cuttings online last year. So hoping to preserve whatever I can for next year, because this plant does not survive cold temperatures, and we are expecting a freeze next week. So preparing to cut most of it today and tomorrow. My ever faithful society garlic, it makes it through the winter. And this beauty here, rocket lettuce, it's a volunteer. It just showed up from a plant that I had planted either early this year or late last year. And this here is the second production of my tomato plants. Over here, I'm growing tigerella, salad tomatoes, which are just round, medium-sized tomatoes, and also roma tomatoes. I've been collecting tomatoes since possibly May, and since tomatoes don't all mature at the same time, so I have that advantage that I can pick tomatoes every day for fresh foods or a cooked meal. They're perfect and beautiful. So since we are expecting a freeze by next week, I will have to pick all of these tomatoes. The green ones will have to mature on the kitchen counter, but even if I eat them green, there's a good taste to them. They taste like tomatillos. So this here in the background, it's not very clear, but it's the tigerella, the one with the stripes. There you go, right there. That's a tigerella tomato. So tigerella tomatoes are small, larger than a cherry, very juicy, and a little bit tangy. So if you're looking for a sweet tomato, this is not it. This would be juicy, but a little tangy. And again, a production of tomatoes, it's been great. Better than any other year. I've had them in a huge abundance. Very, very happy, very content, very grateful. The Lord's gift. Every time I step into my earth, I thank the Lord, because this is a survival, and this is what He taught us to do. Actually, if you think about it, He said to work the land. So there, I work the land. So next, you will see this is another area where I was composting. Remember, I've told you this before. When I compost, I throw in the seeds because I don't mind being surprised here and there with something as beautiful as this. So these roma tomatoes grew out of a compost pile. And look how loaded. Oh my God, it's incredible. If you would see the plant life, like I get to see it, it is incredible. It is beautiful. I even want to take a picture of it, and I want to frame it as a reminder of, God's bounty, God's blessings. Isn't this beautiful? Look at the sky and the background. It's blue with a few clouds. Perfect temperatures. Right now we're enjoying temperatures in the 60s, low 70s during the day, and then mid 30s at night. But as soon as the first freeze hits, that's it. We're done. Thanks for watching.